Hello everyone, my name is Intan Orazira binti Saim. My metric number is D2018-1083728. Today I'm going to tell a famous character of naturalism philosophy. First of all is F.J.E. Woodbridge, 1867 until 1940 century. He was an early 20th century American philosopher. He was one of the principal figures responsible for the adoption of philosophical realism in United States. Woodbridge was a founder of the philosophical movement known as American Naturalism. Number 2, Maurice R. Cowen. The American philosopher distinguished himself as an expositor of the nature of a liberal society, as a teacher, and as a defender of academic freedom. The third is Ernest Nigel. He was a leading philosopher of science. Ernest Nigel developed a logical empirical theory of science within the framework of pragmatic naturalism. The next is Sidney Hook, 1902 until 1989 century. He was American educator and social philosopher who studied historical theory in relation to American philosophy. He was among the first United States scholars to analyze Marxism and was firmly opposed to all forms of totalitarianism, holding liberal democracy as the most viable political structure for social and scientific advancement. Last but not least, the best known proponent of naturalism is Émile Zola. He was the novelist and French art critic. In fact, he was considered by many scholars as the father of naturalism. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alia Husna binti Abdul Nasir. My metric number is D2018-208-6065. So today I will share about the benefit or contributions in naturalism. So, the naturalism gives the child a very important places in the educational process. It treats a child as a child and not as an adult. So, the child is good and pure at the terms of birth. It is also considered a child that the nature is the best teacher. It is also considered individuals' interests, aptitude, inclination, needs, and capacities. It also prepare and encourage the child to engage in experimentation, discoveries, and inventions. It also motivate to acquire more knowledge in natural environment. With the contribution of the naturalism, the follow nature is the watchword of the naturalism. The innate nature of the child should be developed in natural environment and not in the artificial atmosphere of the school. Instinct, impulses, and emotions should form the basis of all education of the child. According to the naturalists, instinct should be the main instrument of education. Pseudocentrism is another important contribution of the naturalists in the field of education. The educative process, the child takes the pivotal position. It is the child himself rather than the educator, the school, the book, and the subjects of study that should be in the foreground of the education picture. Children should be treated as children and not as the adults. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Siti Zulaika binti Izzuddin. Okay, now I will explain about disadvantages in the flow of naturalism. Naturalism also referred to as understanding or nature. This means that every human originally has tendencies and has good temperament. There are some disadvantages in the flow of the naturalism that we can learn and understanding, especially in terms of education and in society. Naturalism also can be defined as a negative stream and often occurs in the field of learning. The educator only let their students to develop and learning by themselves, so they can understand and get experience every science through the environment. For example, teachers do not provide guidance to the student because the teachers expect their student can understand and can adapt to the situation for each learning. So, it is clear that through this stream of naturalism, there is no longer any interaction between teachers and students.
Hello to Dr. Colin and to all my friends. My name is Muhammad Zul Haris bin Bahudin. Today, I will like to present about philosophy of naturalism in education. So, firstly, in naturalism in education, naturalism in education stands for the doctrine of follow nature in education. So, secondly, it stands for complete freedom to be given to the child in learning and they will to be left alone. So next, the whole of the child's learning will come from his own experience and their natural consequence. His whole education will be according to the natural laws of human development. So for the next point, I will explain about naturalism in method of teaching. So firstly, naturalism is a result against the old traditional bookish system of education. Direct experience with nature, things and men is the keynote of instruction according to naturalists. They follow different methods of teaching according to the interests, capacities and aptitude of the child. The teacher has no significant role to play and external discipline has no place in naturalistic system of education. So next is learning through sense and through participations. So for the lastly, apart from the above methods, kindergarten, execution method, experimentation and textbook method so it to bring about a natural development in the child. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, next I will explain about philosophy of naturalism in music education. Music has a unique place in curriculum because it allows students to create, perform, respond and connect. When students pick up the instrument or take their first breath before singing a piece, they are creating something. This inspires students to express themselves artistically and develop a sense of identity and self-worth. Creating an original piece develops creativity. Improvising teaches students to be flexible and how to think on their feet. Next, performing allows students to present what they have created to the world. This can improve students' confidence and public speaking skills. Performance also offers opportunities for solos in which are given opportunities to develop a sense of leadership and individuality. Next, responding lets students emotionally respond to the text, tone, and style of the piece they perform. Responding can also mean listening to and evaluating their own performance and the performance of other ensembles. Next, music education also connects students to the world around them. Lessons and repertoire can be selected from a variety of cultures and time periods. And students can be taught the context and history of the piece. Piece or even entire concert can be coordinated with teachers from other departments and discipline to create an environment with strong cross-curricular learning. Music is universal. Music education tends to involve visual, verbal, kinesthetic, and of course, musical learning appealing to students with different preferred modalities of learning. This creates opportunities for struggling students to achieve confidence in their success. Music is communication, and when we teach our students to communicate with one another, we promote a society that uses thought, empathy, and diverse perspectives to solve problems.
Naturalism is a kind of philosophical that naturalism in a broad sense. Let me get you an example of naturalism. Naturalism photography has both a reason and a naturalism style. For example, Harris is a typical rough life, people life and scenery than Amazon's photographs, although is not false. Amazon went to nature and used his cameras to show the farmers harvest in the field. The combination of the characteristics is more of left with to composition of the diversity. Although the three characteristics had different action, the layer is also full of changing, and the characteristics equal each other, then basically maintain the real and typical sense of farmers' harvest in the field. Thank you.
So, the conclusion is naturalism has secured freedom for the child and has further succeeded in freeing the child from many a tyranny of rigidity, interference, and strict discipline. Thank you.